evil twin Gordon, and Jade as well, and our other family members are with us in spirit kind of as well. But thank you so much for coming out, everyone. Also, all of my colleagues that are trying to change the Democratic Party to make it more responsive to our communities. But it's so great to be here with you. And my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Avalos and Campos. And I know that Supervisor David Chu, Jane Kim, Christina Olagi said that they would try to be here, but I know they're here in spirit. And thank you so much to our chairman of the Democratic Party, Aaron Peskin, as well, for being here. The other elected officials, and I'm sorry I can't name everyone, but I really appreciate the support and look forward to working with you for more improvements in all of our neighborhoods at the community college board level, at the school board level, and throughout the city. Also, you know that we're at Rossi Playground, right? This is an incredible place that, because of Friends of Rossi and a lot of the improvements of neighbors around us, we've improved the playground, which used to be like an F on the list of different parks. But we're in the process of improving the swimming pool with an $8.2 million part of parks bond. So that's a really important thing that we will accomplish as a district and as a city as well. But it's a beautiful place. I also wanted to say that we're on the weekend of Earth Day, so I'm really feeling it today here at Rossi Playground in our district, that we're fighting for a more sustainable community as well, not just in the Richmond, but throughout the city. And all the children that are playing next to us, the play structures, to also the softball fields and soccer fields, everything. I think this is what being a district supervisor is about, the life and the vibrancy of our community, to make sure that it's here for everyone and the future generations as well. I wanted to also just say very briefly that I'm very proud that that if I weren't campaigning, I think I would be on the swings over here or playing softball back here. And I know that that's a part of being a supervisor, is not just the political life, but it's also enjoying kind of a healthy lifestyle. So I would be biking, I think, to Bella Rouge Cafe that way, through the park in the new separated bike lane. I would be on Clement Street with Shori Chapman and others at Toy Boat and other small Chinese businesses and other diverse businesses as well. And I would be supporting the senior center that's right down the street, the Institute on Aging, as we support aging in place programs as the senior boomers, like my sisters and brothers and I, become a huge population. In 20 years, we'll be 40% of the population. So we need to be preparing for that today. And I think that's what vibrancy of the community is about, is supporting all these different parts of our neighborhood. I also wanted to say that my passion comes not just from, I think, being a parent and working with Jade on so many different issues, from a healthy lunch in the morning to just being active in our neighborhood, but it's also comes from being a shop steward for SEIU kind of years ago and helping to organize in the labor movement, but also to support working families in our district. So that's been a passion, and I continue to do that as well. Also, with the schools, I am passionate about working with all the educators, staff, students, and parents to make it better, for all of our neighborhoods and all of our schools as well. I wanted to just mention to you also that our office and I wanted to acknowledge that I couldn't do much of what I do in City Hall without my really hardworking staff, Nick Pagalatos, that's here with his family, also Victor Lim with his family, and former staff like Les Gilker and Lin Xiao Chin and many others, and Cassandra Costello as well, but they're wonderful to work with, and we continue to improve the Richmond with their support. I wanted to say that we're fighting for better schools and better opportunities for youth and more educational and equitable programs in our schools, not just at the K through 12 level, but also from birth to 5, where I serve on the First 5 Commission for better child care and early childhood education, but also all the way up through community college and higher education from my work with CSUs and UCs as well. So we're fighting not just for K through 12, but also for the continuum from birth to higher ed, so everyone has an opportunity to meet their full potential as children and in our communities as well. With education on the school board, I've helped with many here. It's great to be emceed by Henny Kelly, but we also have Dennis Kelly from the Richmond District, the head of the Teachers Union. And we've fought also to end corruption and mismanagement in the school district, but also for bilingual education with teachers and leaders like Irene Dia-Collier and the Association of Chinese Teachers and the Latin American Teachers Association as well. So we're continuing to fight for better education for our children. I also wanted to say that I currently have legislation that we're introducing on Tuesday with a bunch of the PTAs, parent-teacher associations within the Richmond District, from Lafayette to Roosevelt and Presidio, where Jade goes, to also Argonne and Jefferson on the other side of the park, where we're protecting PTAs that raise small amounts of money to supplement the schools, and that's a measure that we'll be introducing with support for many of my colleagues as well, to make sure that parents have adequate funding for their schools. But we know that it's a bigger picture of fighting for adequate funding at the state level and federal level too. Also, I wanted to add that public health is a passion of mine. Some of you may know that with the Coalition for Smoke-Free San Francisco, the San Francisco Tobacco-Free Coalition, with Lynn Chow and others in our office, we work with a coalition to make sure that thousands of children are protected from the dangers of secondhand smoke in many of our communities, and that's something I'm very proud of as we work with the Board of Supervisors on. I also wanted to say we have new legislation that will also protect people from secondhand smoke in big festivals and in big outdoor events in the city too. Also, thousands of children in San Francisco now, I'm proud to say, are eating much healthier school lunches because of our great parent activism in the schools, but also better access to healthy and affordable and fresh food in our neighborhoods. And we have legislation with labor and small businesses that we'll be unveiling in the next month called Good Jobs and Healthy Communities, that we hope that you will have support from all of our neighborhoods and all of our parent groups as well, for good jobs and healthy communities throughout the city as well. But we appreciate your support for that as we unroll that. Also, hundreds of thousands of pedestrians, people who walk the city streets, are safer because of Walk SF, the Bicycle Coalition, and many Richmond District residents that are here. So we've successfully led to 15-mile-an-hour zones around schools during school hours and other pedestrian safety efforts, not just around the senior centers like the Institute on Aging down the street, but also in front of schools and child care centers. And we'll continue to work on making the streets safer so we don't have any more lives lost to dangerous streets, whether it's on Masonic or Geary or Fulton where I live. Also, safe routes to schools and Fix Masonic or community-based groups that I continue to work with to make our streets more safe. And many of you have all worked on those issues with us. Over the past couple of months, my office and I have been working heavily on developing community safety plans around problem spots like Jack in the Box, late night activity on the bars that are around there, or also the Rocket Room where there are a number of arrests on Clement Street recently. But our approach has been not just to point the finger at businesses or bars, but to work with the businesses and the bars and the Jack in the Box owners and the police and SF Safety Awareness for Everyone and residents to create safety plans that will be long-term, that will look at root causes for making our communities safer. So we're right now working on the Rocket Room one, but we've worked successfully with stakeholder groups to bring everyone together for safer communities in the Richmond. And some of you may know that there was a recent stripper truck that Larry Flint from Hustler kind of brought to our neighborhood in the outer Richmond, and with the police department and also residents and the school, Lafayette School, and the library, we were successful in keeping it out. If you see it coming back, let us know and we'll make sure that it never comes back to our neighborhood in the city. But we're working hard with people power at the neighborhood level and block level to keep our neighborhood safe. I also wanted to say that I'm not proud that I'm turning 50 this year with Gordon as well, but we will soon become the senior boom population. But there's also many seniors with tremendous needs. I'm proud that during the budget crisis, and I've always fought for a fair and equitable budget so that our safety net is protected for the most vulnerable. But I'm also working proactively with senior organizations from SF Village, that's right here, Aging in Place program in the Richmond, to next San Francisco in the North Beach, Chinatown area. But we're trying to create model programs of aging in place so as we age and our current seniors and people with disabilities can stay in their homes longer and not have to be institutionalized. It's cost effective, it saves our city money, but it also is about seniors and elders as valuable resources that can help teach young people and bring about a stronger and more vibrant neighborhood. So we're valuing the seniors and elders and creating aging in place and an aging-friendly city policies throughout the city. I also wanted to say that we're working closely on SRO hotels and other places where seniors live to make it more livable for everyone, regardless of their age, but especially for those that are the most vulnerable in our city. Jesse Fink from the Clement Street Merchants Association and John Toja from the Pet Store Coalition and Kathleen Dooley from the Small Business Coalition. I'm so proud to have, and Henry from Taishan Cafe on 12th Avenue in Clement, many small business owners and leaders that are here, and Chris Schulman from the Office of Small Business as well. I'm proud that I'm working with them to make sure that our neighborhoods, the backbone of our neighborhoods are the small businesses, and we maintain the diverse and unique character and the thriving character of small business sectors like Clement, Balboa, Geary, and all of our sectors in the Richmond District. I'm proud to work with you guys on new legislation that protects our small businesses, creates jobs, and makes a more thriving economy in the city. Has anyone been to the Balboa Theater recently? Our work in our office has been about creating a better marquee because it's an anchor institution for that outer Richmond institution. But we need to support our neighborhood theaters and small businesses, but also the 4-Star and the Bridge Theater as well. But that's been one campaign, is protecting the anchor institutions in our neighborhoods so that we can fill the vacancies and make it more thriving in our city. But I wanted to also remind people that in my office too, I chair the Land Use and Economic Development Committee, and part of my work is to make sure that the neighborhoods have a strong voice when different issues come before us, as opposed to allowing developers and big business to always have the say. But we want everybody to have a say, especially the merchant corridors and the small businesses. And I see that my colleague Jane Kim from District 6 has arrived. Yay! Supervisor Kim. I wanted to just end now by saying that we have a lot of great legislation and new laws that are behind us under our belt in the last 3.5 years. And we have much more coming forward to protect our small businesses, create jobs, green jobs and new jobs for new technologies in our future, but also supporting schools and parent fundraising and parent and student leadership at the city level. And I'm going to need your help to kind of move those issues forward. I also know that to win a successful campaign here in the Richmond District, which is about 75,000 people, we need strong grassroots leaders and precinct operations. So we really need your support in building this grassroots campaign so that it doesn't just end on November 6th, but it continues for 4 years. And as Jade and the small children around us grow up, so that we have a new generation of leadership for the future. So on this weekend of Earth Day, with my family and with labor and environmentalists and neighborhood merchants and small businesses and everyone here, I'm proud to say we're going to win the Richmond District for another 4 years and for the future for our community and for our city.
Speaker who is very important before I introduce her. Thank you, Jane Kim, for coming, as we said, and Leah Pimentel, who is also running with Eric for the DCCC. Wanted to give her a plug. Now, I will tell you something. Eric looked far and wide to find somebody to guide his campaign, and he found this young